To start off the rejuvenation of programming and making games with Unity 3D, I'm going to split my projects up. And I thought I could show this to all the other users here, because I've mentioned before how it is important to save, back up, and also export your assets. So this will be me showing you how I am exporting my assets. Now, I have a lot of different scenes in here. I've written some scripts. I also have a custom shader, which is not inbuilt into Unity. And I've also created some terrains. So let's start with a terrain as an example. If you select your asset, if you right-click on your asset, you're presented with the menu, and in the menu we have Export Package. Now if you click on this, here we bring up a list of all the assets that are involved with the terrain, specifically here. So that's great. Even though I just selected the terrain, it has found all the materials, all the textures involved with this terrain. So from here, I can click Export. And I can give it a name, and I can hit Save. And as the computer is brought up, it's shown me where my package is now. So this package has just been prepared and is ready to be imported into a new project. So that was just using one example. Now, that's not a great one to pick on, because when I first tried this with terrains in the Unity demos, like Boot Camp and Island, it didn't work for me. All the trees were mucked up and I couldn't understand why. Now there's an important consideration when you're exporting your assets. Shaders don't come with them. So if you had trees that had their own shaders and you exported just like I demonstrated, then they would break when they came in. Now you can't see them on the models. Shaders don't appear there. I have some prefabs from back when we were adding tree colliders to trees to try and show what I mean. We click on one of the trees here, especially if you go down to the tree materials. You see there is a shader associated with the leaves and also with the main trunk. Now these ones here in this example are inbuilt into Unity. So I've had no problems with these, but this is just a consideration. If you're exporting and you know that you're using custom shaders, make sure you also export your shaders. For example, if that was the shader that I was using with my terrain, I would click on both of them before I export. Now you see the shader is included in the package. Okay, that's just an example, that's not a shader for that. As I say, all these terrain assets I've checked and gone through, and you can go through and check through yourself. And there was absolutely no trace of custom shaders that I could find anywhere here. So that's just a consideration. Okay, how else can you export? Instead of a single asset, you can even select a whole scene. Right click on that, export package, and again it has the terrain, so it has all the terrain assets. It even has the skybox assets that are used in that scene. We have the prefabs, and here you can see the scripts as well. Scripts, fonts, models, prefabs, textures. Everything that is involved in that scene will come out with the export, except again for that one main consideration, shaders. If you are using custom shaders in any of your scenes, make sure you export them out as well. And finally, you're starting to see, we could even pick up different folders. Just like that. And the same principle applies. When my computer has time to think about it, every single asset within those folders will be exported. Okay? And then even to expand further on that, if you only wanted certain things of those folders, simply highlight the particular assets that you want. And then when you're happy that you've selected everything, including your shaders, again, right click, export package. And you have your list here to confirm and check through, and then you can export. So I'm going to pause this video here and make the packages for the new project, and then I'll come back and show importing. First, you create a new project, or you can open the project you want the assets in. And when your project is created or loaded, simply go Assets, Import Package, Custom Package. Now as you saw, I'd already created this, and I've also copied the package that I just made into the folder. Now you don't have to do this. You can simply use the browser, find the asset on your computer, the package on your computer, and when you've found that package, simply click Open. Again, when my computer catches up, you'll come in with the import settings. Quite exactly like when you import a standard asset like a character controller, or if you're importing an asset from the asset store. So here is our list of all the assets in the package. When you have selected all the assets that you want, we'll leave them there, click Import. When that is completed, you'll have in your project window all the assets that you've just imported. And as I notice, I have an error here. So one of my scripts is trying to access another script that doesn't exist. That's the only reason for that warning there. I can cheat and fix this now. Now, just for the sake of proving the concept of importing packages, I'm literally going to comment out. I must have a comment somewhere else. Okay, so that's not going to work. There's the offender. Okay, so just to prove how the import works, I'm just going to comment out that whole script. And there we have it. It was simply because that one script was looking for another script that didn't exist in that export. But that's it. And we have all the assets that we used, all the assets that you chose to export. And then you're ready to continue with a new project with your existing assets.